Well, hi everyone. I'm chatting with Belinda. So let's hear a bit, Belinda, about where you are, who's in your family,
Yep.
and how long have you guys been there for? So where are you?
Okay. I'm Belinda. I'm married to Tim, and he's pastor of Grace Christian Community, which is in Box Hill South in Melbourne.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been... I seriously lose track. I think we're celebrating our 8th birthday.
Okay.
This July, though we technically started, we launched. So probably it's been almost 8.5 years since we kind of started doing things before.
Okay. And who's in your family? How many kids?
So I've got 4 kids. I've got twin boys who are both 7. Connor and Sebastian, and then I have a nearly 5-year-old daughter, Estelle, and then 2.5-year-old Violet. So.
Okay, so very busy with kids and that. So for you, you've been in, I was going to say lockdown, kind of easing a little bit, but it's been fairly locked down.
Yes,
about 8 weeks, something like that.
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah. So for you, as things lift, we do come out of it, God willing, eventually. What are some important gospel outcomes that you're hoping for yourself?
Yeah, look, it's really interesting. When all this kind of happened, it really felt like a real kind of, it felt as if so many things that I valued, that I appreciated, that I wouldn't say idolized, but so many things that got in the way of my gospel priorities were kind of stripped back.
Okay.
And
so
it's
what sort of things can I ask?
Just like little things, like being able to go to cafes and eat nice food and spend time with friends, and like not that they're all bad things, but they're all really lovely things. But I remember just feeling like, God, you've just taken all the, I work hard looking after my kids, and these are all these things that I really love and appreciate, and they've all just been stripped away. I feel like there's no good things to look forward to. I remember that being a real kind of key, slightly kind of childish thought that I had when this first happened. And I remember about a couple of weeks in, logging on to church, because we do church via Zoom, and I remember just thinking, no, actually the best thing, the thing that I really need, it may not be as good as it used to be, but when everything else is taken away, church is, and God and the relationships that I have there are still there, and it's just the most precious thing, and they're so much more important than all these other things that I've been mourning. And I just remember being really struck by that and going, why don't I appreciate it normally? Why do I let all these little good things stand out so much in my mind compared to the wonder that is learning from God's word and spending time with these incredible people? And so one of the things that I'm really conscious of as things go back to normal is that life is going to get good again. But I don't want to lose that sense, that realization of what the best thing in my life really is, I guess. That the best thing in my life is my relationship with God and my relationship with his people. And that I don't, that as we kind of go back, that I relish the chance to be able to spend time with my church friends, and I appreciate the fact that that's going to be better again. But that I don't kind of lose that appreciation and hunger for God and his people that I feel like I've really gained in this time. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So not lose the preciousness of church and church family. And for some reason, you're seeing that in a very stark, clear way at the moment.
One of the things that I have struggled with, and I think I would struggle with more as time went on, is the lack of a break. So I think for Tim and my emotional and mental health, having holidays, having rest, having time together without the kids is really crucial and key. And over the last month, it's been pretty much impossible. Like our kid, my 2-year-old doesn't go to sleep until late at night. Like she's a night owl. And so Tim and I don't actually get time where we very rarely get a time where there's no kids around. And so I think that's a real challenge.
Yeah.
Something that we've been talking about, like, and even things like often we would go for a drive with the kids in the car because they kind of sit happily in the car and we can talk, but you can't even do that. Like it feels like so many things have been stripped away. And so I think that's something that is I don't know if danger is the right word, but it's something that I'm conscious of has been hard and would get harder as time goes on.
To end, can I give you this question?
Yes.
She says yes. Good on you.
I don't know what it is, but
give us one positive thing for your marriage, maybe one hard and one positive for your marriage this period, and for your family, for you and Tim with your 4 children.
Yeah.
Has there been one positive? Let's just end on the positive for you and your kids. With your husband, talk about one negative, one positive.
Yeah. I think it's funny because I might start with a positive. I think it's been a really interesting time of working out how to care for each other. Jim and I had this hilarious chat where he said to me, COVID has been so much harder on you than it has been on me. And I said, yep, you're right. And he said, I was kind of hoping you would disagree slightly. I'm like, nope, so much harder for me. So that was quite funny. But
what did he mean? Like, what was he saying?
I think because Tim's still been able to go to his office because it's pretty
okay.
So he's been able to get out of the house. He's been connecting up with a lot of people. He's more of an introvert. I'm an extrovert. And so like I've been the one that's mostly been stuck at home. I've kind of had my normal looking after kids stuff plus learning from home on top of that. And so I just haven't really gotten any breaks. And so I think he sees that. And I think the fact, like, I think it's been really good for, like, he's been thinking hard about how he can support me. And I've really felt loved by him. So that's been a really positive thing. I think the challenge has been that one of the big challenges and difficulties for our marriage has been that the house is atrocious because I just haven't had time to clean it. And he hasn't had time to clean it. And we both don't like being in it when it's a mess.
Yeah.
My mum hasn't been able to come over and help. And, and so I think that's just, it sounds funny, but I think that's just been we've both been a bit miserable in our house and kind of known there's nothing we can do about it. But yeah.
Yep. I think lots of us can relate. Yeah. Even if you're bad at it, you do like having a tidy house, don't you?
That's right.
But getting there is quite a challenge.
Yeah. And I think lots of Tim getting frustrated that the house is messy, but having no expectation that I'd do anything about it because he knows I can't. But I still feel that, but it's not my fault. And he's like, yeah, I know that, but it's just hard. And I'm like, oh, it's hard, but I can't do anything. And that makes it hard. So I think that's been a real challenge.
Yeah. Now, how about you guys with your kids?
Yeah, look, I think there's been some really lovely things about learning from home. It's been hard work and I'm really looking forward to a break. But I don't normally get to just sit down with my boys and do work with them. And my boys are both on the autism spectrum and have ADHD. And so sometimes in the midst of all that kind of stuff, I can, I don't know, I'm trying to think how to word it. Often my job is to kind of be the taskmaster and I don't actually get to just sit down and be with them and appreciate them. And I feel like it's been such a weird time of being desperate for a break from my kids, but also just being overwhelmed with how amazing and lovely they are and how blessed I am to have them. So just, you know, being able to just sit down with my son and spend ages talking about volcanoes, because he just loves volcanoes. And my other son, Sebastian, he really struggles with confidence. And so often you can't tell what he's good at because he doesn't try things. But then every so often he'll sit down and do something and I'll just be like, you're so clever and amazing and such beautiful company. And he's just loved being at home and loved being with me and doesn't want to go back. But it's just such a privilege. So I feel like even though it's been really hard, the time together has been really valuable for our relationships. And
so coming out of things, like if they will go back to school, how are you going to hold on to some of those good things?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think really prioritizing spending time together, because often what happens in our family is that I do jobs with the kids, and then when the jobs are done, I get to have a break and Tim gets to do fun stuff with them. And that's just, you know, that's just life. It's not anything. That's because I want the break. But actually realizing that it's important for me to make sure there's some fun mum time too. Because I've seen how much that benefits our relationship, I guess.
Yeah, that seems a good thing.
Yeah, it really does. And
okay, so somehow you're going to carve out that time.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, and I think Tim does the Bible reading with the kids every night, which I think is really good. But as part of school, I've been trying to do some prayer and some other things. And yesterday morning we got the chalk out, and I just got them to draw something that they're thankful to God about, so that we could pray. And I was just like, I need to be. Just because Tim's kind of in charge of that doesn't mean that I have to miss out on that wonderful aspect. And I mean, we talk about God all the time and it comes up in conversation and things, but really trying to carve that out as well, I think is a really precious thing.
Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah.
It's been lovely chatting to you, Belinda.
Yeah, it's been great chatting with you too, Cathie.
And knowing that there's 4 children roaming around in the background, realising that this is very precious time, a double thank you. All right, we'll see you later.
Cool. All right.